Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Susan, and on behalf of MH Service, I would like to thank you all for joining us. At MH Service, our mission is to empower digital investigations through reliable and innovative technologies and solutions while keeping you up to date with the latest advancements from industry leaders. Today's session has been organized in collaboration with our good partner, Oxygen Forensics. Together, we will explore advanced analytics and discover how automation can help accelerate investigations and improve efficiency. We are pleased to have a distinguished lineup of speakers joining us today. From Oxygen Forensics, we have Jonathan Legay. He's the Regional Sales Manager for EMEA, and Haitham Khatib. He's a Senior Solution Architect for the Middle East and Africa. And representing MH Service, we are joined by our COO, Muhammad Awadallah, who will deliver the closing remarks at the end of the session. Following the presentation, we will move into a live Q&A session, so we encourage you to submit your questions throughout the webinar, and we will address them at the end. Thank you once again for joining us today. I will now hand over to Jonathan. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. For some of you, I know for some of you, you're brand new, which is really great and very exciting. So a quick introduction to myself. So I'm Johnny. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Oxygen, and I look after all of the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. So it's a very large region. But some of the benefits of that is I get to understand and I get to see the different maturities within the digital forensics space across different parts of the world. Previous to my engagement with Oxygen, I was a police officer in the UK. So I've had a lot of experience as well within the evidential chain of custody and understanding how important it is to make sure that we're getting the absolute most out of our investigations, but actually how important it is to do these things quickly. Caseloads build very quickly. Devices just seem to be coming in tenfold, and these investigations grow even bigger every year. So what we're going to be focusing on today is how we streamline those investigations so that you get the most out of the tools that you have, but also that you're getting the right results and you're getting the most out of the devices that you're investigating. So today's focus, a quick introduction obviously to me, and Haitham will introduce himself when he begins presenting. We will explore the three products that we have, and I will give you a quick introduction into those three products. And then we will start to analyze how these products kind of speed up your process. So we have three core products: the Oxygen Forensic Detective, which is effectively our flagship product, and it's probably the product that most of you will be familiar with. We have Oxygen Remote Explorer and Oxygen Review Center. So for those that are new with us today, Oxygen Forensic Detective is a comprehensive digital forensics platform that is used to extract, analyze, and report on the evidence that exists within the devices that you're analyzing. We kind of pride ourselves with the reputation of being the best with advanced analytics. So once you have those data sets, how do we read them? What kind of information are we getting from them? And how do we link offenders to offences, right? So the flagship product, when we drill into the analytical work, really highlights that. So this is, I suppose, the main product that we have, and has been around for quite some time. We then move on to Remote Explorer. Now, this is a really interesting product in the sense that it was predominantly targeted towards enterprise customers. So for those that are in the corporate space that are looking to do corporate investigations, but there have been some really interesting use cases now within law enforcement as well. So the Remote Explorer is effectively the detective, so the flagship product, but with some amendments. The main one being the fact that you don't need to have the device physically with you in your lab to do the extraction. You can actually collect from these devices remotely, as long as you have got a colleague or an individual with the device or with the target location to set up agents. So in terms of speed and process, this is a really great tool. You don't need to physically send individuals to where a device might be. you can actually start collecting these devices remotely. And then we move on to the final product, which is the review center. And the review center is effectively a collaborative tool. So it's a browser-based review platform that allows multiple people to access a case or access evidence data sets all at one time. It's predominantly been targeted towards those that have less of a skill set, shall we say. So we have our analysts, we have our digital forensic experts, and they might be in charge of extracting from mobile phone devices. They might be in charge of analyzing the evidence, but you still might have a review team. So whether that's a frontline police officer, whether that's prosecution, whether that's a review sergeant or a review team, there might be many people within the evidential team that need to touch the data. So what the review center allows you to do is dump all of those data sets into the platform so that multiple people can review the evidence at one time and also make suggestions on what is key evidence and what is important. So it's a collaborative tool. These are the three products that we have. We will be jumping into predominantly the detective and the remote explorer elements today to kind of show you a lot of the analytical work that the platform is capable of, but actually how we can start to use automation and artificial intelligence to speed up our processes and get to the results, whether that be image categorization, the potential for video categorization, which we're working on at the moment, where our teams or where your teams can actually really start to drill in on the data and have Oxygen suggest results for you. So what I will do, I will hand over to Hytham now. He'll do a quick introduction and then we'll jump into the product. We'll jump into a bit of a presentation so that we can go into these features in a little bit more detail. But thank you very much for joining today, and I'll hand over to Hytham now.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, MH team as well. So yeah, my name is Hytham. I've been in the digital forensic world for quite some time now. Before joining Oxygen and being a solution architect, I did a lot of implementations and lab designs all over Middle East, India, Africa, and so many places around the world. Before that, I was doing digital forensic investigations as well from a civil point of view. So yeah, that's a little bit from my background. For today's session, we're gonna talk about there's a big agenda that's waiting for us, and this agenda will include we're gonna talk a lot of features. It's mainly on the analysis features, what you can do with detective or ORE, because we do have different sections within our softwares. Like one is being the extractor side, or how you extract data, how you get it out, whether it's from a mobile computer or a cloud. And then we have the parsing stage, where you get all these images and all this extracted data into a readable format, where you can start looking into that data. And of course, at the end, we also have the exporting and reporting side of things that close the gaps for everything together, so you can do a data presentation. Today, we're going to talk about not even the parsing, it's the analysis within the parsing stage and how we can benefit from that. We're going to talk a lot of features, including transcription. We're going to talk about image categorizations, image analysis, social graph. We're going to talk about like how to manage cases and devices within the like the platform itself. So there's a lot of things we're going to cover, and of course we're going to also touch on the remote explorer, where how we do things where you collect data from different endpoints. There's a lot of new things added as well as part of new releases that's been coming out either on detective side or remote explorer side. So yeah, if you're already a customer, so keep an eye for the new updates. I think ORE is coming out today, by the end of today. So if you are an ORE client, make sure that you update to the latest tool. If we're gonna start with detective, and we're going to start with analysis. Detective allows you to, when you're doing when you start parsing and you're gathering that information from different sources, it allows you to bring all these different sources under one place. This means that, for example, if you're dealing with multiple suspects that are involved in the same case that you're investigating, or the same suspect has multiple devices. You found his mobile device, you found a USB stick, you found a hard drive. You're able to collect his cloud data. Any device that has been involved in that investigation can be brought under the case. And when that happens, how are we going to start looking into those data? How are we going to start analyzing things that are common between those devices or those suspects? So that's where those analytics comes into place and become very handy because of what we can do with those devices. Of course, the first thing you can see over here. So this is a case that I have. I have a total of 6 devices. And those six devices are coming from different sources and have different types of data sets. We can start looking into those by the first thing is we can start seeing contacts that's shared between all these 6 devices. We see all the files, we see all the geolocations. So this types of filtering that comes by default in Detective and ORE. Even the analytics, it comes by default as well. The only difference is this is self-generated. You don't have to do anything, while analytics is something that you run either by when you're importing those images or at a later stage if you want to turn them on or off. You can do that from either any point of time. You can rerun things within your case. Also, you can, if you have a new data sets that came into the investigation, you can also add it, and you can again run those types of filters. These things will include the facial recognition, which we're going to talk about, the OCR, optical character recognition. We have speech recognition as well. And this is a little bit tricky. So you can run it on a CPU only, but it runs better when you also have a GPU as well, or powerful GPU within your workstation. So having that in mind, make sure also there are some drivers for the GPU to be downloaded, so the operation is running smooth and there is no delays or there is no mismatching of result that might happen. And we also have image categorizations. I'm going to talk more in detail about it because we do have some changes on that one. So also we're gonna go deep inside image categorization. If I start from beginning, okay, I received this case. I image all these devices. I imported those devices. Where do I start? The first thing we start with, mainly, or most clients like to start with, is either our timeline or social graph. I'm going to start with social graph just because we're talking about analysis and we're talking about advanced analysis. So social graph is exactly what it does. For example, in this case, out of all these devices that we have over here, we start looking into data. Start to be like a little bit of overwhelming, a lot of things that's going around. So what we do is we start by the most important thing within forensic tool and within detective and ORE is how good is the filtering system or how it's built within this tool. So in detective we have a lot of filters, built-in filters, advanced filters, filters in different sections. So that will help you a lot when you're looking into the data. You're trying to narrow down results just by a few clicks, so you're not overwhelmed with all the data coming out from all these devices. Because out of 6 devices, I might have not even 22 connections or 39 connections. I might have 2,000 connections out of that device. So what I mean by connections here is the number of communications between a contact and another one. So if, for example, if I click on this person has a few connections that are outgoing into different directions. If the device is being used for a very long time, there's a lot of people, there are a lot of discussions involved. These connections might be hundreds or thousands of connections. So we're starting by that. The best thing is what I do is also to minimize this. It's coming from going 137 connections to 46 just by clicking on common contacts, which means that, okay, this device is actually has or these devices have common contacts that I can see based on the phone number mainly, or the account that's running on those other devices. For example, if I'm talking about maybe an email account that's been used in some of the applications, so it's being recognized. And if it exists on a different device, so I can start saying, okay, this is a common contact, so I can start looking into that. Other than this, we do have, as I mentioned, the extractions. You can filter on those extractions if you want to narrow down, like, for example, a device or two, or you can keep all of them. We have the accounts. Those are the recognized accounts of those users of those devices. I can also narrow down on these. I can see all the contacts involved, again, with all their communications and the results out of those contacts. So I can just do it either by a single contact, or I can do it on the device overall. That's up to you, because if you still don't know who's talking to who's familiar with who, it's better to keep it all. And also, like, the sources. Maybe I'm interested into WhatsApps. So I'm looking into WhatsApp conversations between those different people. I can start looking, like, for example, out of 39 communications, I ended up with 3 connections over here. And I start looking, okay, this guy is actually talking to this device and it's talking to this device, but there's no communication between those two. So this is a common contact, and this common contact will have conversations, will have messages, will have media files. So a lot of stuff that might be important to while looking at that data is just to directly understand, see what's going on. Maybe there's something that needs attention. Maybe I want to look further into this message. Maybe I want to translate the message directly from this view. I can do a automatic translation, and this one, not translate. Sorry, let me choose another one. I do have some translation that I did already. So there is translation that we can do from here. Again, let me run it. For some reason, it's not translating. Okay, now it's working. So I can see that this is the translated text, and this is the original text. The reason we want to do that, especially if it's like in a foreign language, the moment we translate that data, we can start searching on those results in different sections and different views. And this is a built-in translation that comes within the tool itself, that you install it once offline. and it's there to use with the tool. So those translations, we have more than 50 plus translations within Detective, and that number keeps increasing with every release that we have. So back to communications, where we're interested in WhatsApp. We had those two extractions. From one is WhatsApp backup, one is normal WhatsApp extraction, and we have 45 messages. Those messages are translated, but I'm not satisfied here because I did my timeline. I chose the dates from which period to which period. I still want to see more of that. I can go into a different section, which is also a filter that exists. We don't have to do anything, just a click of a button. I go to their common conversation or bubble chat conversation and start looking into that data. If I need to, for example, let me translate something here. And I want to look at that word. So I don't know this language, but I can run a filter. Data. Sorry. This filter is okay. Let me go into second. We go again up into translated data. Oh, it's not here. So let's take one in English for now. And I can go into all the conversations, for example. So I can see here a lot of backups. I can put a search word, and this search word will come up for me in all the devices and all the conversations that are there. So again, this is something that I've narrowed down by going into a single device. That single device, I went to a single application. I found, I know that this guy, Juicy Guy, is talking to this guy. And I have those conversations that I'm interested in. I went to their common conversation. I started looking, they are talking about something which is interesting for me. Maybe I'll put here where instead, just to so I can start looking all the messages that involve that type of communication. It can be again coming from multiple sources. The direction of that call. Is there any attachment involved? Because maybe there's no attachment, so this is like out of 9, almost 1,000 result. Plus, I can end up with 171 only with attachments. So there's something that I can also run over here. Let me reset. So we can end up with attachments that are running within those chats. And if I have run OCR on a certain picture, or if I did not run OCR, I can still run this from speech and text recognition. So now, if you are Oxygen user and you have been using Oxygen for quite some time, you know that there are these sections were separated, like OCR and looking into chats and looking into different views. They were not in the same place, but now things are connected. We have connected all the views from translation to speech and text recognition to searching to filtering. So all these sections are connected now because to give you the purpose of being able to, for example, when you do run speech and text recognition, to be able to track it down on all the views within different sections. So those things are there now. It's been there for quite some time. but we keep adding on it because of the analysis that we're adding to the tool. The analysis is expanding really like widely within our ORE and OFD. And there's been a lot of changes throughout since the beginning of mid of last year until today. And by the end of the session, I will give you the some of the future uh, insights and what's soon to come to Detective. And I think it would be very interesting for our existing clients or clients to be as well. Uh, so this is on the social graph. Uh, so the social graph is a place where again where you start. You can start building the connections. You can start looking into different contacts and see. Okay, I'm interested in where was it? The conversations. Okay, so here I'm looking into those conversations. Let me change it to this view. Now it's more like clearer for me. Uh, I'm looking into this, no, not Dropbox, maybe something else. So this view is really good when you can put it on a separate screen. So you can have all just this section and very wide screen. So you can have it as a full screen on second screen and start looking into those connections. It will be much easier for you to start working with it. Let me choose something. Maybe choose Sky. So I'm choosing this contact again. It's showing me, okay, there's this contact also still connected to this one, although it's connected to this guy, but also it's connected to other devices. Again, I'm seeing all these communications based on sources, based on groups, based on contacts, and of course, if there's common contacts between those two devices, I'm able to narrow it down quickly. Again, we have a lot of filtering. Those filterings are included in all the views that you will see within Detective. Whether it's like from to, who's talking to who, how many messages. So all these results are there by default. I'm gonna move into, so now this is the social graph. As part of the same analysis that we have the timeline. So timeline is very similar to social graph, but here it doesn't show you in graphical presentation. It's showing it to you just in filtered view of the items, but we do have different records that you can see over here. So we have, for example, if you're focused on messages, if you're looking for something, or if you know exactly who you're looking for or who's your contact, or into a different source. Maybe I'm looking into event logs. Recent filters. I'm looking into event logs. I want to see if there's, I don't know, maybe an SMS. Apply. So now I have all these SMSs. I can see which application. So here, this is something that we have added recently. So it's telling you where this message is coming from which source. Is it coming from Gmail, a message, a TikTok, a Viper, WhatsApp? So all those sections, you can see them here. You can see those messages. Again, the same thing. We can do filtering. We can do like a translation. For example, if this is something that I'm interested in, I'll go even to the source database where it's coming from. And this is where those sections come in handy, because you can start navigating through different sections without affecting your logic of investigation, because everything is connected. Because I have the timeline, it's still open for me. I can see it. I move to messages. I can see it in native state. Even if it's chat, I can see that in a chat where it's coming from, which contact. So I'm just isolating that contact and those messages from those two contacts, just to make sure I'm narrowing down. And of course, I can export it out. at any point in time in chat view. What I can do as well if I want to go more deep into looking into those messages. Let me go back to all data. I can even go to the DB because we have an SQLite viewer, for example, built in. I can go to the database. Maybe I'm looking for something which is, I want to do some recovery on the database. So this is part of the smart analytics that's within Detective. That okay, maybe I've missed something in the database. Maybe there's something that I overlooked, so I can still trace back to the source. I do further analysis or further investigation, even on the source level, to make sure there is nothing that has been missed or not recovered through the parsing stage. Because deleted data is one of the most important things. So we make sure that you can have access to even the database records and run recovery on the databases. So the timeline, as I mentioned, is very similar to the social graph, but here these sections are just on table format, where you can narrow down. For example, I'm looking into web activity. This where it's coming from. Maybe I'm looking at Samsung browser. Maybe I'm looking into searches. This person has been doing, so I can even search within the results itself. From this perspective. This is on the data presentation. If we start talking about more on the analysis side of things, I mentioned, so we have the speech and text recognition. So the speech and text recognition, we have a separate filter for it, where we have the OCR data, and we have the audio and videos, recognized audios and videos. So basically here, what we're trying to do is take an audio file or a video file, for that matter, and directly transcribe it into text. And with that transcription, again, I can translate to multiple languages, or I can do, again, searching for any words within see here. So now in this result, this I was trying to show you earlier. In this result, so I searched for this word within the translated or the transcribed text. I was able to see it directly. And there's any repetition in that word as well. And this not only applies to this section, I can even go later on, do a full search. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I can do a full search and I can see anything that has this word or phrase or a contact or an email on all of these, on all the parsed data that I have within my case. And I'm not talking about just searching or advanced searching on a single device. We're talking about the case in general. But you get the idea that we can do those types of filtering and searching directly from here. On the OCR side, the same thing. We have the images. Those images, whatever data is being recognized, we're able to also again start searching for values within those filtered results or presented results as part of the OCR. And of course, if something that we want to translate, we can still translate at any point in time. I have this another example where you can have multiple translation languages that I want to show, and again, like I can search on anything within this translated data or within the original data throughout the whole case. And also, if you don't know, we do a lot of EXIF data translation as well. So that's part of. So if you don't have a tool that will give you more details about the an image or about like a video that you have. Maybe if I take something which is, does it have EXIF? This one's, yeah, this one has EXIF. So this type of advanced analytics also there. So we'll give you the EXIF data, which gives you exactly if this coming from a phone, if it's edited by a certain tool. So it's not advanced on a level where you can start like looking into deep fake data, but that's conversation for another time, because we do have something coming in the stack, especially in deep fake. But you get a lot of information. So we're trying to get the regex data and analyze that and be able to give you at least useful information to start with. So we talk about transcription, the OCR. So that's something that we wanted to cover. One thing also I wanted to talk about is, let me go to so in the case level, we can go to files, and those files will give us sections where it's images, audios, videos, categorized images, screenshots. So all of this can be seen on a case level. For this example, I will not show you the case level. I need to show you the smaller on the device level, because we want to talk about, like, for example, different sections. Let me start removing everything. Reset filter. So I'm looking at images files that has been recognized throughout the case. Part of that, I'm looking for something very specific. First of all, we can, like here, we can do a lot of, we can change the views, how we want to see those photos. And also we can see a lot of filters over here. So as I mentioned, we have a lot of filters throughout all our views, where you can see is like different values, whether it's something which is coming from a camera, whether it's something which is it's not recognized. Maybe I'm looking into certain size dimensions, but the most important for me here, I'm looking into categorized images. So we do have almost 30 categories now that we have within our image categorization. Recently, we have changed our AI engine to how we recognize those images, and how we can actually start having better and more improved results. But at the same time, we have added categories that wasn't there before. And the most interesting one, because this has been asked from client in Africa, especially that deals with animal control. So we've added categories like this, like which is animals. We've added something which is related to urban scenes, like cities. We've added something, where is it? License plates for cars. So these things because we're gonna start, like, for example, once a license plate has been identified, OCR, we can look into that data within the number plate itself. So here, for example, I have those categories. So basically, I have cars and animals. Yes, I can see this is an animal. It's a duck. So this type of AI is already existing in the 18.3 version in Detective. I can see there is a number plate over here. So if it's something visible, so I don't have a very visible, like proper plate, just numbers. But we can do the OCR on those plates. And once we do the OCR on that image, I'm able to recognize, for example, the letters and numbers. Once I do that, I'm able to start searching into a certain values within that number plate. So I'm asking the system to go and find all the vehicles or recognize all the vehicles on its own. I don't have to do it manually. Go identify all vehicles. Once it's identified, go do an OCR for those vehicles. And once that's done, if it's something that I'm looking for specific, that an eyewitness say, okay, the plate number is 567. So I can put in search in the OCR result, and I can start looking into those results. Similarly to animals, well, we can't OCR data in animals, but you can recognize the pictures, especially if looking into animals. Maybe it's something which shouldn't be there with endangered animal that's looking into in a picture, and like maybe it's being sold or being shared between different contacts. So that's something that also we can do. What's interesting in the image categorization, which we have added recently, it's not just the fact that we've added more categories, but the fact that we started having something called prompts. And those prompts, on top of the AI that's running in the background and being able to recognize those types of images, especially like, for example, as of now, we added 4 prompts that's there in the system, but we're going to add more prompts later on because this is something which, for example, I'm looking for an extremism, and I'm looking for a person. I can write a man covering his face with black mask, for example. So I can start adding those prompts, and what this allows me to do is I'm adding more conditions to those photos. So it will take this condition that I've added now, and if I apply it and go run the image categorization again, it will go look for any man covering his face with a black mask. So it will go look into all those photos that I have now in my case. This exactly the same runs for child abuse. I can add my own prompts. I can say a child wearing a red shirt with the blue pants. So it's a free text. So it's basically you're describing an image, or you think that an image might exist in that stack of images. So the description of that scene. So what it's doing, it's going and analyzing not just the image, but the scene of the image to see if there's a child, and within that image there's a child with a red t-shirt and, for example, blue pants. So it's something that start going into that level of analysis and that level of recognizing data within that the new AI that we implemented for the image categorization.
I think can I just
yeah.
Brilliant. So I think that this is a huge feature, and one of the things I'm personally really quite interested about. So that the flexibility and the freedom now within your search criteria is only ever going to improve. And obviously you see the threshold tab here. So you can effectively set how critical you want these results to be, and I've been involved with some of the other solution architects in kind of understanding what this does, and there's some really great things coming out of it as well. And one of the examples that I saw quite recently was a search criteria for an aeroplane, and we had the threshold set to very, very high, which meant that it was going to spit back a lot of results that it thought that might be quite relevant, but based on that category. And one of the things that I thought was really cool is that we typed in the word aeroplane, and it returned a result of an airfield. So even though there wasn't an aeroplane there, the categorization has now identified, it's learned so much that even though that the aeroplane was not on the airfield, it has associated that an aeroplane would be on an airfield. So it's produced extra results, if you like, that might be relevant to your case. So obviously amending that threshold and amending how strict those results are can obviously vary your results. But I just think that this is a really, really, really important feature that we're going to be developing as well into video as well. And Hytham, I don't know if you we're going to speak about that in a moment, but this is something that we're also developing for video evidence too.
Yeah. Yeah, as Johnny mentioned. So, but bear in mind, adding those thresholds will mean that you will need a strong GPU because it takes like more time to find those results, especially especially we can actually add the GPU numbers that we have, we can run within those like images. So the better GPU, the better CPU we have, the faster the results will be, especially when running special conditions like those prompts and putting in max thresholds. So it'll give us a less false positive, more accurate results, but of course on the expense of the hardware and the hardware capability to reduce that time. So yeah, that's on this. As Johnny mentioned, we are considering videos. It's something that it's on our roadmap and it's coming very soon to start being able to do the same on a video, same as I showed you here, where we can now we're recognizing text, but then we will start recognizing images from videos, and those images we'll start analyzing the scenes in the same way we're analyzing through the image categorization. So keep an eye on that, and yes, it's coming. Definitely, it's coming. I think before the end of this year as well. Another thing we wanted to discuss. Let me start. Just finish some of the stuff here. Some of the things I want to discuss also, especially if you're we talked about having multiple devices within a case, multiple sources, but also what we can do. Also, if, like, for example, I know I have different extractions for the same device. For example, I got his full file system. I got an Android backup. Or a Android agent extraction, or even a cloud backup of his account. What I can do with those, since it belongs to the same owner of that device and it's related to the same data on the same device, I can do something called device merging. And this is an example of device merging where we've added two devices. Where I put things together from both devices. In this case, it's limited to one application, which is WhatsApp. But what it's doing is getting all this data from those multiple devices, putting them in one place, and merging the results. So, for example, now if I open messages, and I can see those messages where they're coming from, the sources, it's coming from WhatsApp. From coming which accounts, contacts. So it's putting them under one, since it's same contact, same device. It's putting them under one single place. If I open the timeline, let me open timeline over here. The same thing. So I can start seeing those the messages that are coming from those devices. It can start being repeated, but what it's doing is it's actually merging those results together, so making a duplication of that data. So since it's the same message, the same extraction coming from different sources, it starts showing you, okay, this is a duplicated message, not to miss any result or any message that might be overlooked from different sources. Because, for example, if I'm doing a WhatsApp and I did I did an Android agent extraction for his WhatsApp, for his latest conversations, but at the same time I have found a WhatsApp backup, and I use the decryption engine within the cloud extractor to get that backup data. I can run those together in line, and I will be able to filter if something that has been missed. So, okay, now I have all those messages. There is some repeated messages, but I don't want duplicates. I remove all the duplicates. So instead of showing, I don't know, 100 message, I'm able to see more of a filtered message, which is 20 messages, for example. And some stuff that might have been missed or hasn't been captured by the first WhatsApp extraction, I'm able to get it from the second WhatsApp extraction. So you can start doing things like this, and this is just a click of a button, of course, and it will do that automatically for you. We do this in a view level, and we also do it on, for example, if I go to WhatsApp, I go to data, the same thing, chat. Oh, we already done it there. Where is? Sorry, let me go back. I think it's timeline. It's the timeline. The duplicates. Yeah, here. So we can start showing that door. Okay, there's. We can start filtering by we want to see the duplicates, or we want to see without duplicates, or deduplicate data from within the device itself, or the merged data. So as many devices as I have in the merged data, it doesn't matter. So I can start like I won't see anything without the duplicated data. So I can see, okay, this is out of 45. I'm now ended with 9 messages that are not duplicated. So you start getting the feel of how you can start navigating through the different results, and this is only by just a few clicks where I went here, I did some merging on those devices. I'm able to choose actually any device I want. Like for example, I want this and this 3 devices. Right click, merge extractions. You can do application data recovery as well on those. You give it a name, and then you merge those 3 devices together. So why it's helpful? Because, for example, when you're dealing with multiple devices and we're dealing with multiple suspects, so having, for example, if I go to this one, I have 6 different devices, and I might have this suspect device and this one and this one. They're all the same. They're same suspect, so I can merge them, and then I have different devices that also I can merge for a different suspect. So instead of analyzing 6 different devices that I have over here, I can analyze only the merged data. So I can take the merge 1 from suspect 1 with all his devices, the merge 2 from suspect 2 with all his devices, and start looking into the common social graph and timeline. So instead of having those 6, I'll have 2 merged cases or 2 merged devices, and that will narrow down for me to see, okay, this is the suspect 1, this is suspect 2, this is suspect 3, and this is what I'm analyzing here in social graph, and this is what I want to see, because regardless if the message is coming, I got the message from his WhatsApp backup, or I got it from his full file system, or I did Android backup, it's still a message. So it doesn't matter where it's existing, it's existing from that owner. And I want to see if this message is actually shared with a different suspect that I have. Is he a contact with that suspect that I'm interested in? Did they share this message? Did they share this file with each other? Regardless if he's a saved contact or not saved contact, it doesn't matter. So we start seeing that type of data. So we start like narrowing down the devices into merged devices, and then compare the merged devices together, and that's where things start getting into picture. And instead of having again 20 devices, I'm ending with five merge extractions, and those 5 merge extractions will make it much easier to look into data rather than looking into 20, 40 devices. Well, you can't add more than 20 in detective. But yeah, that's the idea. I'm just trying to follow on the things that I want to show you today. We talked about the cases. We talked about the merging, the analysis features that we have, the social graph. The one last thing is that I want. Maybe I'll move it to Remote Explorer. We'll do it there. So I think that's from the detective side. Doesn't mean it's only detective side. That's common between detective and ORE because they share the same analysis, the same analytic workflow, the same analytic engine. So there is no difference between the analysis that I showed you here and the one I can show you in ORE, but it's the same thing. One last thing I want to, yeah, sorry.
No, go on. I'll
Go.
jump in after you.
So the last thing I want to show in this one, just something that we also just added in the latest release, which is, oh, come on. No, let me open it again. Okay, yeah. So now, in our facial recognition section, we can now add a contact or a picture to a contact. So for example, if I know like, okay, this contact, this person is there, I can go and link him to a contact and link this photo to all the activity of that contact. So this is something that hasn't been there in Detective, but now we can do it. We can say, okay, this contact is Dolly, for example. I will apply it. Now I can see if I click now on Dolly, I can start seeing her contact card, the owner, the communications that she has. Let me go to another one. I'll show you the other one, which has this. The communication that they have. If there's any chats, chat bubbles, again, with different contacts. I can see the statistics of total like messages and calls and they have over here. Here we can see, okay, phones and emails that are associated, if there's any internet activity, any other activity or names that falls under that person. So it's all coming from just because I saw that this person is actually, that I link this contact to this picture. Because I might not know that, okay, this person has so much activity over here. But once I link that contact to him, I know, like, for example, his profile photo, and the contact card is matching the picture I found here. I can start looking, okay, this is all the activity that I can get out. You can see over here, this picture is different than the one I actually found in the facial recognition. So that's very helpful in terms of just start identifying those faces that you will discover within the case, maybe to a suspect or a contact within your contact list that's also been discovered. Sorry, Johnny, you wanted to to add something?
Yeah, sure. So it's just whilst you move from detective to ORE, I thought it'd be a good opportunity. So there's lots of advanced analytics here, right? And I think one of the things that we maybe don't do very well is kind of explain how all of this kind of knits together and works. So these are not additional modules that you purchase. These are not add-on platforms that you need to incorporate within your budget. When you purchase a license of either Detective or Remote Explorer, you have access to all of this analytical work, right? So from translation packs, once that's downloaded, that they're yours. That the license gets purchased, and then you have access to the 50 plus different languages that we're able to run translation and transcription against. So what we're trying to do is set up investigation teams for success. And that when you have to try and allocate your budget, which is always a very difficult thing to do. I think whether you're in public sector or whether you're private sector, It can be difficult to free up budget, and it can be difficult to find the money for these things. So what we don't want to do is for you to have half a product that in 6 months' time you then need to purchase more things for. So everything that you've seen here today is incorporated within that purchase of your Oxygen suite. Furthermore, we still run a perpetual licensing model. So it's not subscription based. It is a perpetual license that you buy and that you have access to. Obviously, you need to maintain your renewal and your SMS to make sure that you have the most up-to-date version as the years go by. But if there is, for whatever reason, a moment where you do not renew or you miss a budget run, you will not be switched off. You'll still have access to your Oxygen suite, albeit it will be capped at the latest version that you have downloaded. So I think that these are really important things to assess as well when you're looking at your digital forensic products. It's a toolbox industry. There's lots of providers out there. There's lots of great solutions on the market. But again, the idea today is to get you familiar with some of the features, but then actually working with the team at MH, and actually for working with the team internally here at Oxygen, so with Hytham and myself, we can kind of go through the commercials and understand what tools that you have and how best to utilize and leverage each product. So that was an important thing I kind of wanted to address. Hytham, I don't know if you've got ORE up and running now.
Yeah, just okay. I will not talk much about the analysis of ORE, but I'm gonna spin it out just to see that it's actually not different than detective. So basically, this is ORE. It's the same platform, the same type of analytics, the same views, everything is the same. So you will not feel any difference if you are like or used to be a detective user, want to use ORE. So it's the same platform. There's no difference. The only difference is there with the Agent Management Center, because we allow you to do all the extractions between computer extractions and mobile extractions from mobile devices and the Windows, Mac, or Linux environment to do it remotely. And this will not just doing remotely in terms of, okay, I will collect the E01 or I want to collect the full mobile image. No, we allow to do things granular based on a set of profiles. So first of all, we can deploy agent. It's an agent-based solution. So it's something that we can deploy over a computer device. We can install over network. There is so many ways of how we can send that agent to a endpoint. So we can use Active Directories. We can do network discovery, a list of IPs that I can add as well. So we can install those agents. Once the agent is installed, we can communicate with it. We can get the live data from that device, whether it's like a list of files, whether it's a memory dump, or even a full disk image for that matter. We can still do file system browsing if we're looking for a certain folder. But the most important is to be able to run tasks. And those tasks are something that we create out of profiles. So if you are familiar with Oxygen, you have used Oxygen, you've used the Android agent or iOS agent extractions, you've used Key Scout a little bit. So this is very, very familiar. We allow you to create rules on files, on file types, file extensions, what you want to achieve, and file signatures as well. We have added specifically Yara rules. So you can run Yara rules on a specific endpoint if you're trying to do some pre-scanning. So we're allowed to do that. You're searching for some file extensions as well. So you can create those rules, and you can add as many rules as you want with different filters. We allow it to run or search for application data out of those endpoints. Again, this is something that we do for Windows, Mac, and Linux through that agent. So there are different agents for each platform that we can run. Why we need this, or even like looking into, for example, browser data. Let me go here and say uncheck. I say browsers. Where is it? Web browsers. Apply. For example, I will go and capture all browser data because I'm interested in getting all the username and password or even active tokens from that particular endpoint because I want to go and if there's anything that I need to collect from his cloud account. So this will give me access through the, for example, I capture Google username and password. I can go use that with our cloud extractor to download his G Drive data if it's something that I need to do. Because we don't do brute force cloud extractions. We only use what's available part of the devices that you have captured and accounts that exist or seize devices from those suspects. So we can do that by capturing those data. We can also some other applications. So check all, apply. Some chatting applications like WhatsApp, Telegram, anything that's running on a desktop. So we're able to capture those, to capture the databases. And we remember we talked about the merging of devices. This is where also this comes handy, where you can merge, for example, his computer extraction of a Telegram or WhatsApp with another device coming from a mobile device, and see also again if there's any different messages, anything that you missed from his mobile, but you discovered that he has a WhatsApp session that's open. So we capture that data and be able to combine those results together. And I can do this in ORE side. I can do this remotely. We have a lot of system artifacts that also we can capture, and those system artifacts will vary. Again, different platforms, all the registry files, the NTFS files, event logs is being captured as well. Especially if we're interested in analyzing link files, shell bags, if we want to see anything that has existed on a certain PC, or a file that has been shared, or USB that has been connected, so we can do this. We allow it to capture live memory, since this is a live forensic collection through the agent. We allow to collect memory data, which will give us access, for example, to BitLocker keys for the encryption of the hard drive, especially if I want to go and collect the later on at the later stage, I will get that device physically, or I have the need to capture do a bit by bit image of that hard drive. So I will need the BitLocker keys, but I can capture it in advance. I can run the process lists as well. I can see what's running now at the memory, the applications, the services, to all of that. I can get it out to see if there's maybe I need to run, if I'm looking into some malicious file or some malicious process or something running on my network, so I can run memory analysis. Yara rules, it's also something there that you can add your own rules, and you can do some pre-scans. So those are the profiles and how you can work with them. We do that also on a mobile device. On the mobile device, we can collect data from, again, files. We have from iOS and Android. We have application data or user data in general from the device itself. That vary from messages. We're looking into, like, for example, connections, browser data. Same we have in the computer collection, where you can get the active sessions, the tokens. We have the call history, contacts, all of that, the device information. All this can be captured through the mobile remote agent on a Android or iOS. So we have two different categories that we can do here, or how we collect data. One is through something we call remote device collector. And this is where it starts it's not sophisticated, but it starts going into what your need is, because there are two ways of collecting data through the agent, either through a remote device collector, which is a middleman or a middleman endpoint that sits between the device, the mobile device, and your collection server. Why we need that? This in scenarios where you don't want to connect the phone to internet or to network, you want to have it completely offline. So we use a middleman, and the middleman would be a laptop or a PC or a tablet that has the computer agent running there, and I can send tasks through my dashboard, which I have installed this as a remote device collector. If I run the remote device collector over here, and I'm connecting a device now just live, so I can show you. Should be connected. So now I have a device that's connected over here. Once it's showing in my dashboard, in the endpoints, I can start communicating with that device. Here now it's live. I can go and run a task. If I run a task, I send it, and I'm able to, where's my device collector? Yeah, start extracting the data. So it will collect based on what I have specified on the profile itself. So whatever I specified on those profiles for this particular mobile collection, this is what it will collect through the device collector. Once I start connecting the data, it will collect the data through a USB cable, and then send this through the device collector to the server in the background, which is the agent management center. So those things we can do. Similarly, we do via Android agent or via agent. This will do the same thing, what we can do with RDC, but in this case, we're doing it through an online or internet agent, which works over network or over internet. We're talking, it can work over 5G, it can work over a wireless connection as well, where we can do third-party collections from those devices. By third party, I mean, for example, I'm looking into a WhatsApp message, a particular WhatsApp message coming from particular contact. So, for example, I have the date of that conversation. I know it's between this date and this date. And I go say like, okay, go collect the last few days of that conversations. I can go and maybe choose a group chat as well. Put the group chat name if it's something that's corporate group chat, if someone has said something in the group. So I can go put the group chat name and be able to send that to the device to collect only that specific data. In this case, we're not using this method. This method is through USB. In this one, we are using wireless or internet to connect the data, but the agent needs to be there on the device. So there are a few ways how we can install the agent, but usually it's something that we need to install prior to the investigation, so we can run those collections, whether it's from browser or a Telegram or a WhatsApp. As of now, for iOS, we have WhatsApp and Apple Health, but we're adding few things as well in the new release. So that's the idea of getting things into from endpoints. So we're trying to gather that data from those endpoints, giving control to the agent management center. So basically, we can also like configure multiple users for agent management center to collect the data from different endpoints. This works really well for consultancy houses where they have a lot of clients they deal with. They have a lot of locations. So maybe they can send one person to a single location where they cannot afford like a whole team, or not even send anyone. Depend on the IT team on the other side to configure the server on the other end, or the network structure, and then send those agents remotely, collect the data without even leaving your office, gathering that result back in agent management center, which will send it to Remote Explorer for analysis. So basically, we're gathering the data from remotely from mobiles and computers, getting it back, and that data is being sent to Remote Explorer for analysis, where we can start doing all the analytic features we have talked about in the first part, and running image categorization, social graph analysis, timeline, all of it. We'll be able to run it over here.
And there's lots of use cases for this. So I'll start with the private sector, I suppose, because that was predominantly where the tool was on, or was who it was designed for. So whether it's for internal investigations, whether that be HR or compliance, but even monitoring, and so we've had cases where C-suite staff have had agents embedded on their phones, so that scheduled collections can be done, just to make sure that there's no malware or there's no breaches on the devices that they're operating from. So that's one of the examples. But obviously, you've got internal investigations. So potentially, if you've got a sexual harassment case where an employee has potentially been accused of using Teams or Slack or WhatsApp or whatever to harass another member of staff, and these are quite common use cases, of course. And then obviously, as Hytham explained, consultancy work is a massive one, where you're not necessarily sending individuals to and from different locations, but being able to collect remotely is so important. But the idea has really now evolved, and when we come across into the public space, we see Remote Explorer being used in the prison service. We see it being used at airport and port customs, where devices might have been seized. And we see it being used as well within law enforcement, potentially where you might have a crime that's happened in a remote location, or really quite far away from HQ. And it might take a number of hours to get that mobile phone to and from locations. And we see now a real uptick in public services using the remote collection services of ORE. So it's really quite a broad tool that I suppose was targeted towards the corporate environment to begin with, but now has a use case across multiple platforms. So it's a cool tool.
Thank you so much, Oxygen Forensics team. I think we exceed the allowed time. Allow me just to comment quickly about the points shown today. Thank you, Hytham. Thank you, Johnny, for the valuable information and for showing the end-to-end investigation platform from Oxygen Forensics. I just want to highlight a few points, what Hytham said regarding the hardware. The hardware is very important, and as you see, as it's well known to you as well, we have different kits, different devices. It will serve you well in the field as well in the lab. It could be customized to your needs. It's fully powerful devices and fully equipped with the end generation or the last generation of GPUs, similar to the Octograph Mini. It's equipped those two cards, 5090. It's a small device and it's very powerful device, can serve you to accelerate the process. As well, we have the water-cooled and air-cooled GPU servers, where you can run and process a huge amount of data and can run AI applications as well. Just a second, I will share again my screen to show you the new device from our side in a cooperation with Oxygen Forensics. It's handheld device, can be used in the car, can be connected to the car power, and can extract data in the field from mobile phones. And there is a carrier here included. It's a SSD where you can take the case to the lab and do the investigation as well. I recommend you to follow the page from Oxygen sites, where they have a lot of resources here, technical resources as well, videos, and a lot of information as well. Our homepage, our events, and our news, everything's on the homepage, our YouTube channel. And last but not least is our partnership with NVIDIA. We are NVIDIA partner officially, and we can deliver the newest devices from NVIDIA, like the new laptop, the Spark laptop from NVIDIA. We are modifying our internalizer now to be based on the NVIDIA chips, internalizer EI, and it's including a huge GPU processing performance. Thank you so much for your time today. I think there is no questions, and see you in the next webinars.
Can I add just last thing from my end before we finish?
Sure.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just want to leave them with a message, because we have a major update coming in September. That September will have some of the first iteration of possible AI features. So we're talking about something which is we're adding semantic search, video detection, improvement, deep fake detection. We're adding something which is also, like a lot of clients has been asking us about, AI chat assistant, where when it comes to description of scenarios or conversations. So there's just look out for those coming out in the end of the year, or September, last part of the year. So we have a lot of things prepared in terms of AI, built-in AI features, where it's going to be completely offline. So just keep an eye there, and yeah, you'll have a lot of news from us in the next months.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
See you all at the next webinars. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.